We are kicking off alphabet nutrition with the letter A, which stands for ATP. That just stands for adenosine triphosphate. You can kind of think of it as the universal currency of the body. Really, it is the main source of energy that drives every single action you do, including blinking your eyes, raising your hand in class, typing up your 18,000,000,100 emails that you send out a day. Literally any form of activity that you do requires ATP. Two kind of things that I want to highlight in particular are nerve impulses and immunity. ATP drives nerve impulses. An example of a nerve impulse is, I think one that we can all relate to is when you put your hand on a hot stove and you immediately pull back. Really, ATP is being sent up and down a basically superhighway of your body that is called the vagus nerve. And what the vagus nerve does is it basically, again, is that superhighway stemming from all of your organs all the way up to your brain. And nerve impulses via ATP, that's the source of energy that drive all these nerve impulses. ATP is shooting impulses back and forth constantly up and down the vagus nerve. So in the example of a nerve impulse, when your hand touches a hot stove and you immediately retract, essentially right when your nerves at the tips of your fingers touch that hot stove, they're sending messages all the way up through your arm, up that vagus nerve, all the way to your brain. Your brain then immediately, thanks to ATP, is able to quickly send messages back to the hand, specifically the nerves at the tips of your fingers. Obviously, it's like negative impulse is pain. So that's an example of ATP fueling nerve impulses. Now, another example I like to call out that we are able to perform as human beings, thanks to ATP, is immunity. One specific piece of immunity that I like to call out are the white blood cells. So you've probably heard of red blood cells, blood plasma. The third component of blood is white blood cells. So these guys are in charge of constantly jousting and fighting off all of the invasive bacteria or diseases that enter your blood. They are fueled by ATP. One particular white blood cell that I like to always call out are macrophages. And what these guys are really responsible for is just gobbling up all of those nasty bacteria that enter your bloodstream. And again, they are fueled, their engine source is ATP. When we consume carbs and fats, our body uses those carbs and fats and basically churns and burns them out to create an end result that we know of as ATP.